Hi guys, Serena here. Thanks for joining me again today on my YouTube channel. If you are new, then welcome. I do all things art and creative, mostly watercolors, but a little bit of everything else. And to that effect, today, of course, if you've seen from the title, I found something interesting that I think would be fun for mixed media. I was just walking through Walmart and I found these King Art Artist Mixed Media Gel Sticks. It's not a professional art supply. It's just something for fun. It doesn't even say that it is, of course it's not archival. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that it is, what is the word I'm looking for? You know, it's not professional, but they're Artist Mixed Media Gel Sticks. There's 12 of them in the box. These were less than $10, so less than $1 a piece. Let's take a look and see what is inside. They've got 12 Comfort Grip Gel Sticks. In fact, let me see if I can get that closer for you here. 12 Comfort Grip Gel Sticks, soft buttery texture, rich vibrant colors, odorless and non-toxic, and it comes with a storage case. Now, King Art is a brand that's kind of new to me. I do have some acrylic metallics that they made, and they're pretty good. They're not terribly thick. They're maybe a little on the watery side, but they are metallic, and they come in some nice metallic colors. I think there's a set of 6 of them, and I've tried those. Those are good. Reasonably priced, again, less than $10. But these come in, let's see, red, orange, yellow, rose, purple, blue, aqua, green, brown, gray, white, and black. So enough to play with. So let's take a look inside. I think I opened these already just to kind of get a hint of what they are. It's always clumsy to get these things out of a box for the first or second time when you're trying to use them. Oh wow, they're quite big and chunky. And they look like kids' crayons, but I mean, nice box that it comes in. It's got those little clips. That's nice. And I guess they open like that. But the fun comes in testing them. So let's take a look. I like that they come in that little box for storage. That's really nice, especially for kids. So let's take a look and see what the colors are like when I swatch them out. Everybody wants to see that. This is a B paper. So it's a very good paper, but I'm going to use these for a lot of other things, so don't feel like I'm wasting it. I'm not going to swatch out the white one, but okay, let's see. Ooh, oh, really buttery. Oh, wow. These are even more buttery than, wow, these are even more buttery. Not that I can compare them to Sennelier oil pastels, but that's the kind of feel that they have. Oh, that feels really nice in my hand too. It's a balanced, for like a kids thing or mixed media for less than $10. This is a nicely balanced crayon. And you know, you're not getting your hands all dirty. Ew. You know, if you're using mixed media, if you don't want to get your hands dirty. The cap doesn't really stick on, but I mean, it's a place to store it if you want to, unless you're flinging your cap all over the place. But that's kind of nice. I love that vibrant color. Look at that. And it snaps on. You heard that. Unfortunately, I am filming in the greenhouse because it is snowing and sleeting out. I'm trying to get a couple of these YouTube videos done at the same time so I can do all my filming at once and then edit when I have time indoors. This one is obviously orange. Again, oh, look at that vibrant. Oh, these are like excellent for mixed media. Look at how those will stand out. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start moving that into the other color. Let's see how these blend. Of course, we're going to have a red one or rose, I think they call it. Oh, yeah, that's a rose. You can tell it's not quite red, but nice, nice, nice. Nice. Wow, these are really nice. I know I have seen these on Amazon because I did some research after I bought these. I wanted to read a little bit more and see if other people did reviews on them. But wow, great. Oh, highly recommend these for kids. this is something kids are going to absolutely love. The colors are vibrant and they're easy to go on. Unfortunately, watch out for your furniture and carpet. I think if this dropped head down on the carpet, it's there. I don't know how well these will clean up, but, well, they are non-toxic, it says, so I guess they're safe for kids. I wouldn't let them eat them, but, you know, if they get them on their fingers and the fingers go in the mouth like kids always do, I guess you don't have to be freaking out that, you know, your kid's gonna have to be rushed to the ER. All right, or the ED as they call it now, the emergency department. They don't call it the emergency room. I guess it's a whole department. All right, look at these colors. Ah, you can tell I'm smiling. It's just, I want to get my hands on this with mixed media. I could just see, just like, I wonder if these dry. I wonder if these are like oil pastels that kind of don't dry. I don't know. I'll have to let you know. I'll put it in a little thing down below here, if they dry or not. Here's a brown, kind of a reddish brown. And you can hear the sleet is picking up. Thank God I have a day off from work today, and I don't have to drive in this. I've driven in this all winter. I'm so tired of it. I'm really so tired of it. I'm done. Okay, and then I'll do the black because you can see black on white paper, but you can't see the white. Maybe I should just do the white anyway, just to see if it feels the same. These all have the same consistency. It's not like some of the oil pastels that I've tried within a single brand where you have, I don't want to get that into the black, so I'm not going to move it up, but you can't even see it. It feels the same. You do use a bit as you rub across the page. Of course, it's a rough texture page, but I could see you using these quite quickly. And I think they probably twist up to get more out of it. I don't know how much is in here, to tell you the truth. That's one bad thing about having an opaque barrel. You can't see, like, does it go all the way up here? That wouldn't be too bad. Is it right here? You're going to run out of these pretty quickly. But, wow, from what I see right now, I'm going to have a lot of fun using these, and these are going to be worth the money. Definitely. Let's see what they do when you mix them. I'm going to wrap my finger because I think these things are going to... Alright, so I think maybe they smudge, which is nice if you like a smudge effect in your mixed media. Look at that. I'm not seeming to blend them because it seems that maybe they dried. Let me see the ones down here. Those still feel wet. Okay, so they dry a little bit. They seem to dry. If you leave them for a length of time, they will dry. Let me get my finger in there. Oh yeah, they're. Wow, that's kind of odd because they're coming up a little bit. There's a little bit of almost like, I wouldn't say chalkiness, but like if you got a little bit of pan pastel or something like that on your finger, you could smudge it. You do have to smudge it when it's wet. Let's try that, okay? Let's try an orange. I won't use orange very, very much, I don't think. So I don't feel too terribly, yeah, see, it blends right away. If you do it right away, you can blend it. If you don't, if you let it dry, it seems to dry very quickly, which is good. So you're not going to have to sit there and baby it in your sketchbook, or if you use mixed media, you're not going to have to sit there and let it dry and use a blow dryer on it and so forth. And it's not like an oil pastel where it's just going to sit there forever and never dry. I like that. So, those are really nice. I thought these were water soluble. For some reason, something made me think they were water soluble. In fact, I have a little water in the greenhouse here in a watering can. Hold on. I'm going to stick my finger in. Do something daring. I have a wet finger here, so let's see. Oh, it activates them? Oh yeah. Oh, look at this. The wet activates them, as you can see from my finger. So, wow. So these These are almost like Neocolors. I'm going to backtrack on that. They are a cheap child's version of Neocolors. In comparison, the Neocolors, of course, are very vibrant. They're, I don't know if they are color fast. I have an old set. This is like from, oh God, this is from like the 1980s? Maybe the 1980s. This is the first set. My father actually gave these to me. He was playing around with them. He gave them to me. And my kid dropped them a couple times, so they broke in pieces. But, you know, very, very bright colors on these King Art mixed media gel sticks. You can activate them, but they're not going to be the same as your Neocolors. Neocolors are more for professional, you know, artwork like that. But certainly, if you do something like a prints, or, you know, you print this out, and maybe stickers, that kind of thing, and you sell those, certainly you can use these, and there's no question of light fastness. But it doesn't say they are light fast. They're not archival, so don't use it directly on artwork that you will sell for that purpose. But other than that, these are going to be a lot of fun to work with. And look at those, I mean, look at those colors. They are just popping off the page. Oh, this is going to be fun. Now, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, because if you're like me, well, you know, some of us like art supplies a little too much, but they've got boxes of like 24 and 36. This is 12. This is really a nice set to get you going. You really, unless you are going to specialize in using these, you don't need the bigger set. This is a great set to try. Again, found it in Walmart for 10 bucks. It was actually the last one on the shelf that day, so it was calling to me. I had to get it. You know how that works, but boy, am I glad I did. So if you get a chance to try these and you do mixed media, you might like these. These are really nice and buttery. I really, really like them. Well, even though it is sleeting / snowing outside this second to last week of April, winter does not want to let go. I am thinking spring, and it is not too early to plant some seeds. I'm here in the greenhouse, and I'm going to seed the following seeds. I've got a tray here ready for my lettuces and radicchio, and then I'm going to get another tray or two to plant my flower seeds, because I want some reference, some live reference that I can use in terms of flowers to go out and sketch and paint and do some en plein air, if I can call it en plein air, if I'm in my own backyard. I'm going to take the liberty and say that yes, if it's outdoors, it's en plein air. All right, so I have, and I hope you can read this. This is going to be radicchio, and I happen to like the Bibb lettuces. They're very expensive in the supermarket near me, but the texture is fantastic. It's really buttery and leathery, and I love it with a creamy dressing. I cannot buy it in the store. It's too expensive. I just can't do it. But I really enjoy them, so I'm growing my own. Then I have some colorful flowers. This one is going to be verbena. Snapdragons, I actually should have planted a little bit earlier. They need a lot of lead time. February would have been a better time, but I don't have the light for it in February, and I can't leave it in the greenhouse because it's way too cold. Larkspurs, which are, they call them annual delphiniums. They are one of my favorite flowers. These seeds do not last much from year to year. You have to buy fresh seed every year. So if you don't plant all of what you've got in a packet, good luck next year. You really need fresh seeds on those. Forget-me-not is another one that is very pretty. Little small flowers, but really pretty. One of the few really blue flowers there is. Some more food. I like some Mexican spicy food, so and some Indian food. And cilantro goes with both as a garnish, so I'm going to grow some of those. Those are really big seeds. And sunflower. These I have to be very careful of with my seeds because the chipmunks and squirrels love to eat these before they've gotten their first green leaves. When they first start sprouting, they'll pull them right out of the soil and eat them. And then when they sprout, they'll even eat the stem before it turns green. Once you've got your first couple of leaves on them, they usually leave them alone. But I think this will be a nice set of color after I've seen all this winter gloom, and hopefully you'll see some of these in my garden this summer. Doesn't matter if I plant more in each cell because I can transplant them and there's always a few that don't come up, so I'm not worried about that. But I do love some radicchio. Again, something I cannot grow or I cannot buy in the store too easily within my budget, so I plant it. Happy gardening to all of you in the Northern Hemisphere that are starting your spring, and happy fall to you in the Southern Hemisphere who are starting your fall, which is my favorite time of the year. You enjoy the pretty leaves and pretty foliage that turns color where you are, hopefully. Okay, so once again it's raining and I'm in the greenhouse, but I wanted to do a follow-up on my video that I did recently where I took thumbnails and just decided to play with them. I was telling everybody the importance of playing with your materials and playing with art, you know, not having to do anything finished. I'll link the other video up top here. But basically, I started by dividing the sheets off into 4 and just starting with a wash of water and dropping in color and letting that dry. And then whatever came out of that, came out of it. I did not use a reference for these. I was just playing around with them, and I thought I would just show you how they turned out. These two you've seen on the last video. And these two you did not, just because I thought the video might have been getting too long. But I thought I would give you an idea of what happened, that I actually did follow through on it too. And now, since you've been so good, and my faithful followers, I am going to give you the ever so satisfying tape peel. If I can do this with one hand, we'll be lucky. I'm trying to do it without getting things out of the frame and without the paper flipping around too much. This is regular masking tape, by the way. It's nothing special. It's just masking tape I picked up at the hardware store. It's a neutral enough color. It's a little off-white, yellowish, but it works. Hey, it's cheap, and it's what I had on hand. So I'm surprised that it is not pulling up the paper. You know, if you can see, the paper is in really good shape here. There's no pilling, no pulling up at all. And if you really do press down on your edges before, you know, press down those edges really well so they have contact with the paper. Press those down really well before you start painting. You won't have any bleed through. So I know there's like a fine balance you have to keep between pressing down too much and then you wind up pulling the paper up with the tape versus not pressing down enough when you start getting bleed through on your corners. And that's the whole point of putting the tape on. You want to keep those nice corners. But we're almost done here. Well, I'm pulling it off the actual watercolor block itself, which I don't care about because I'm actually done with these. And once again, for those of you who know me in the past, I've told you what my failure is or what my weak spot is, and that's painting or drawing without a reference. I did it again on this, of course. This was more like an impromptu, abstract, you know, thing. So I'm excusing myself on this one. But, oh, there we go. Okay. So this part is maybe a little bit not real sharp as far as the edge. But it did work pretty well. There's one spot here where it pulled up. I can see that. But for the most part it didn't. And it is because I'm using a good quality paper too. This is a cold press. I'm sorry, this is a hot press. Yes, it's hot pressed. So hot press surface is going to give you a flatter surface. So you're not going to have that much pulling up. It does look like it pulled up some up here. But really I had it quite pressed down. So that is why too. The other thing when you're doing these type of tapes, you've got to be careful with your edges here. And you'll get some parts where you skipped your paint. You didn't paint all the way to the edge. So you don't get that clean, crisp look that you might want. So just be aware of that when you're painting. That's all on the artist. It's up to the artists themselves to make sure that they're getting all those sharp edges that they want and not little gaps. But I thought you'd enjoy that, so there it is. Here's the stone I finished for Diamond, and I think it came out pretty well. Despite all the troubles I've had transferring the image, I just painted it freehand after that because I couldn't transfer really any of the fine line detail. But, you know, body's okay. I think more it was her face that I wanted to get, and it's a pretty good likeness of Diamond and the way she looked. So I'm happy with the way it turned out, and I'm glad it was a little bit tedious getting the transferring done, but I finally persevered. Well, I want to do just a little follow-up to the memorial painting that I did for my other cat, and I wanted to show you how well this paint holds up. Now this was 2022. This was my cat that passed away in 2022, and you can see the paint held up, and this is outdoors through heavy winters and heavy snows, and I don't really even need to touch it up. Even the fine lines around the cat's body are still holding up, and this is it's not a really smooth stone. It is a rough stone, so the paint is really good.